why would I get high at my place of work? Like someone's gonna ask me what game to buy my kid. I'm gonna say weed.
What game should I give my kid? Weed.
What's good, man? It's your boy Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast.
Yeah, that's what this is, unfortunately.
This is Picante.
I'm
coming at you with another episode.
This is Sphinctus. Well, why are you talking like a fucking robot? I guess that makes sense, like based on like the game we played this week. But
oh yeah, I wasn't even trying. I was seeing if you would go along. With
listen,
the fact that
I didn't know what the fuck you were
doing.
doing. I didn't know what the fuck you were doing, so I just tried to, trying to flow, trying to vibe with it. You know what I'm saying?
Failed though.
So what do we do on this podcast?
Well, we talk about video games, we talk about life. This week we played a little bit. Actually, before we talk about what we played this week,
every time I'm like, I'll seriously be like, so what did we play this week? And you're like, wait, before that. Like,
but before we get into what we played this week, I got a little bit of stuff to bring up. The first thing to bring up is, what's the deal?
I deny all charges.
What's the deal? Did you go and beat Mother 1?
No, because I was playing this and other stuff.
You said you would. You said you would.
I'm going to finish this game and then that.
We're gonna have like a week where like we don't have a game. It's just gonna be like Dana finishing every single game we've played.
And then I'll talk about the endings of all of them and ruin all your lives.
Legal Dungeon just actually released an update which allows it just, if you want to advance the story, you could autofill and you don't have to actually play the game.
So it's just a visual novel without any effort.
Yeah. If you get they say if you get stuck, because I think they know that every single person gets stuck because the game is a little too convoluted. But yeah. We've talked way more, like gone back to Legal Dungeon because of me more than like any other game, and it's like the most mediocre game we've ever played.
Hold on. You have gone back to Legal Dungeon.
Yeah, no, I said because of me.
Okay.
I said because of me. Don't worry about that.
For those that don't know, Sam's mic gets like on our end when we record, but I deal with it.
He deals with it. I deal with it.
I think it's Discord. Discord sucks. Or it's my internet.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's not even Discord. It's sometimes when we tried Zoom, we tried to be professional.
Yeah.
I bought a Zoom membership for a month and it didn't fix it. So we'll just have to deal. No one likes us complaining about our tech issues. The second thing, it's October. You know what that means?
Pumpkin spice and shit. I don't know what. Pumpkin
spice and feces. Yes, actually. I froze up. Someone asked me on stream what the thing I look forward to most in fall is, and I said pumpkin spice because I don't care about Halloween and I don't care about fall weather, and I feel like such a terrible human being.
Do you know what I like?
For saying the
I
words
like wearing
pumpkin spice.
Hoodies.
That's pretty good. I like wearing hoodies, but I could wear them in the summer. I could do whatever I want. I'm an adult.
But it's like I like when there's like a nice breeze and I'm wearing like some nice slacks. I've got my brown shoes on. I got a nice hoodie on. I like fall fashion. Like I
your brown shoes?
Yeah, I got like these brown like dress shoes that I wear with like.
You wear dress shoes everywhere?
Yeah.
In the house?
Well, no, I'm like barefoot. Like if you saw how I dress at work versus how I dress at home, like at home I'm like wearing some shirt that has like Gucci Mane like with like a brick of Coke on it and like sweatpants that like I've had.
And at work you're wearing a shirt with Gucci Mane with a brick of cocaine on it. No big deal. Well, let's not be formal. Brick of Coke, brick of cocaine. It's just a brick. And your and me terminology here, we're very familiar with the streets.
I'm trying to be
it's just a brick.
Layman as possible for those that are not one with these streets.
For those who don't know about the quarter brick, half a brick, whole brick A, quarter pound, half a pound, whole pound. Okay.
Stop trying to interject fucking OJ the Juice Man with every podcast. He's
like, this is an OJ the Juice Man podcast. We haven't even talked about the game we played this week. I'm not even done with my October spiel. OJ October juice, not orange juice. We gotta get into the OJ talk.
I haven't really cared much about Halloween since I was like young. To be honest, like so many people like freak the fuck out about Halloween. Like, oh my god, it's Halloween! Gotta party, gotta dress up. I'm just like, fuck, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't really do anything in college, and the most I've done, actually, like I lived in an apartment building for a while, and I put out a bowl of like I guess like last time I put out a bowl, it was like literally I was just like fuck it, they only have Twix left, so I just had like a big stack of Twix bars.
Damn, that sounds
and
awesome.
Like I just had like a sign outside my apartment door because some kids would trick or treat, and they would just go like door to door in the apartment building, go up and down floors. I just had like, oh, a take one sign, and like I'd randomly had to go somewhere, and I opened the door and I locked eyes with the maintenance man, like grabbing multiple Twix at once, and like he's like literally fist deep in my bowl of Twix. Yeah, and he's just like looking at me with like eyes of just like I've like, you know, like dog caught like doing something bad.
Fuck.
It's like
come on, bro.
And I'm just like look. I was just like, oh man, it's okay, dude. And like it was funny. We laughed about it, but like I will never forget my maintenance man's like caught stealing cookie from the cookie jar face. It was a classic Halloween memory. What a great holiday.
Yeah, we don't have people that trick or treat near us. I live in a subdivision that's right off a major road, so literally 2/3 of houses here have signs that say no soliciting. Because we get solicitors all the fucking time. So like no one really.
Do people seriously still go door to door and start to sell stuff? Like I remember like in high school, like
absolutely,
like it's like, oh, do you want to work for Cutco Knives?
I get Cutco Knives. I get people like trying to sell Comcast. I get people like, oh, my name is blah blah blah, and I go to blah 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 school, and we don't have the money to go to football. Want to buy some candy, or like someone that's trying to sell coupons, or like all the fucking time.
That's honestly sad, but I mean, I hope that you don't get trick or treaters this year. I hope that no one gets trick or treaters this year. That seems like
the post on Facebook
a mass
that people
spread
are like,
event.
People are like, oh, we're having trick or treating whether you like it or not.
I'd just turn off your lights. Don't open the door. Seems like a terrible thing. Like face to face, touching strangers. I don't touch other people when I trick or treat.
Like,
but
what's like, what if you like people like cough in their hands like and like, oh, let me put this candy in here, and like, you know.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. We've gotten so completely off track. I was just going to say October. I'm doing Sober October. I was watching Joe Rogan the other day, and by that I mean like 2 years ago, and he's just like, oh yeah, month of October, I stay sober because it makes me appreciate.
We're like 8 minutes into the podcast. I'm like already on my second White Claw. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to carry this episode because around the 30 or 40 minute mark, the GHB I spiked in Dana's drink. I don't know why I called you Sphinctus before. I don't know why I called myself Picante before.
We go back and forth because like on some platforms we prefer to like not dox ourselves, but I guess we kind of are. So it's like
the virtual homework platform is a doxing platform. That's day one. I told Dana,
No. I do not advocate for that. This is not. I do not. It's not something I. What's the word I'm looking for? Endorse.
But yeah, I mean, like the GHB that's in Dana's drink is going to completely just explode in his stomach. Like, and around 30 or 40 minutes. I'm gonna have to carry this episode. Because that's really the reason I'm doing Sober October this year. Because
Speaking
I want less funny quips. I want to carry the episodes. It's just how it be. So let's actually get into it. Let's get into the game.
So this is a game that's been a long time coming, and then I want to say it's almost like the first indie game like ever. We played Cave Story Plus, which is, I guess, a remaster of the original Cave Story, which came out in 2004.
So I actually have a point here. First of all, you said this is a long time coming. Did we talk about this on the podcast before?
No, this is a long time coming for me. So like in like 2005, I briefly played the original like old school one.
The one's like DS?
Well, no, it was for PC. Like this was like, and this is like literally the OG like indie game. Like way back in the day, like if you were an internet person back in the day, like you knew what Cave Story was, and it got such widestream appeal that they made the Cave Story Plus remaster, and Cave Story 3D and remakes of it. This entire game was made by one person.
Yeah, so I feel like an old as shit human being, because I like was playing this game and I have a point here. I'm like, oh, this game feels more archaic than I expected, because like I was like, oh, this game's still like I thought in my mind like this game's not that old. This game's over 15 years old. I remember when it like came out in
2004.
Yeah, I remember people were like talking like buzz like, oh, you got to play Cave Story. This game's like really cool. I was like, oh yeah, shit, let's do this. And I guess I was like in middle school at the time, but like it was like the critical darling, and it was like everyone I knew was playing it. I never got to play it, so I'm actually very happy we did get to play it. But yeah, I can't believe that this game is 15 years old, and it's making me scared for my mortality. Cool.
Yeah. So overall, what did you think about it?
So I actually guess there are multiple endings of this game. I got the bad ending and I got the regular ending. I assume
you will always get the bad ending or regular ending the first time, because there's just the problem with this game. It's one of those games that if you didn't talk to this one person and do this one thing or get this one item that's in a secret spot at this one point in the game and you can't go back to, you don't get the ending. Like I'm not a fan of those types of games.
Yeah, in fact, I'm not gonna go back and get the deluxe ending. In fact, I watched it on YouTube because I'm just like, there's no way I'm gonna have time to replay this entire game and do specifically what they want to get it. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna make a correction. So about an hour and a half before this podcast, I quote unquote beat the game. But this game has as a bit of a like a. Towards the end, the save points are a little bit sparse, and I thought I had beaten the game. But then there was like so spoilers for those who are planning on playing the game. This is not that much of a spoiler. There's like a extra boss after 2 final bosses, and like I didn't save. I had no health and I died, and I was just like, I really don't want to have to go through this again. So I literally just looked up the ending because it was the last room before that. So I'm sorry, I'm a little bitch.
No, I'm gonna go back to the very beginning. Let's talk about what the game actually is. This is like one of the original Metroidvanias. You basically are a robot who smack dab in the middle of a cave system, and you explore it a bit, and you find these little creatures called Mimaga, or however they're said, and you kind of help them through their plight. You are quickly attacked by the doctor and his minions, who are trying to use the Mimaga to their own means to attack the surface world of humans. And you're basically trying to foil that plot throughout the game. It feels very old school Mega Man-y in the way how you move, like how you jump, like how the old school platforming and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is like a pure platform with a gun, basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't even try to have like really any frills. There are no gimmicks. Like I feel like platformers nowadays, it's like, oh, this is a platformer, but you could do X and Y. No, this is just like, oh, you could talk to people, you could jump, you could shoot.
It's very classic, and I'm gonna go out and say I think this is a very fun and well made game for the time. Even updated to now, there's still a lot of things I find incredibly charming. Yeah, whether it's the music or whatever, or the different areas. I felt very engrossed and involved with it the entire time.
Yeah, I was definitely like excited to keep playing. I mean, there were some parts I found frustrating, but for it does a very simple task and it does it well. It's a platformer and it understands the platformer, and it doesn't try to be anything more, and it tries to make the levels that you're actually playing fun. So yeah, you start out and you could either get a gun or you could wait to get a gun later. There's apparently some sequence of events where you can get like a super powerful gun if you like wait.
To interrupt you real quick, I want to say I was talking to you before the podcast. I said I seriously fucked up when playing this. So when I started playing this, I'm playing on a controller and my joystick is hypersensitive. Instead of hitting, there's 3 difficulties: easy, original, which is the original difficulty, and hard mode. I accidentally tilted my joystick over to the right, and I was playing on hard mode without realizing it. I was about 2.5 hours in before I realized I was playing on hard mode, and I didn't want to stop at that point because I was already so far in. And to go in what hard mode is, all enemies have double the health, and you have 3 HP for the entire game.
Why? That's terrible.
Like, unbelievable frustration. To go into a little bit about that frustration, there are the first zone, you're like in a town, then you go into like a corridor where there's like these dragon eggs, and then you go to like like a forest, and then you go to the sand zone. The sand zone, man. The part with the birds, with the flying.
Yeah.
2.5 hours for me just to get through that one time.
Jesus Christ. I think this game, I mean, I played it on normal. There's two aspects here. Like, first of all, if we're talking about the controller scheme, like, it's definitely better on a controller, but this game is
absolutely
too old to really like understand an Xbox One controller. So like I was actually a little confused like getting the controls configured, because like the way that it originally had it, at least when I plugged in my Xbox One controller, like I had to like manually set it, but like it didn't actually say which button was which. It's like button 1, button 2, button 3. I'm like, all right, well.
See, I use a PlayStation 3 controller that my computer automatically recognizes as the Xbox controller. I didn't have to change a single setting, and it was just like comfortable off the get-go.
But the funny thing is, I'm like, okay, someone's probably had this issue. I'll just go to the Cave Story subreddit. I have, like, this is a complete aside, but I have never seen a worse, like, an unintentionally worse CSS choice or, like, layout choice for a subreddit
Really?
in my life. Like, so it kind of gets the theme, but it's literally a white background with white text, and I'm like trying to read it, and I'm like, I guess I have to like highlight everything. Do they not realize this is like absolutely terrible? It's so obvious.
See, I don't have that. Do you have Reddit on light mode?
I guess I do, yeah.
Because that's literally not a thing for me. Like, mine's dark. Yeah, you have like, why does your Reddit look like that? Mine looks fine.
No, it's specifically only that one subreddit. But
I'm on that subreddit right now, and it looks fine. Like,
oh, I'm using old Reddit.
I guess I use Reddit 99.9% on my phone. So it's like when I'm looking at something on the Reddit on the computer, I'm just like, I don't like pay attention to any of that. Like,
okay.
I don't get CSS when I'm using it on the phone anyways. So
all right, well,
complete aside, but yeah, to go back into the hard mode shit. You have 3 health, 100% of enemies and projectiles kill you instantly. Every single projectile, every single enemy, tapping them, you die instantly.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like this game does have a little bit of "I want to be the guy" inspiration with some of the yes. Like boss fights and level designs, and I could like basically on hard mode that sounds like "I want to be the guy." So hope you're having fun with the least fun user experience ever.
I'm having an unbelievable amount of fun. Because what I remember from playing it the original time compared to when I played on hard mode, I may be mistaken, but did you often go into areas like guns blazing, you could just kind of fly past?
Yeah.
I feel like I had to really learn the layouts of the level. I had to learn what the enemies did, what their patterns was, which was very, very satisfying. For example, that one bird section, which I think is one of the hardest sections in the fucking game, on 3 HP.
Yeah, I actually didn't really struggle with that section too much, but I could also take multiple hits, so I could see why that...
Yeah, I could get hit one time. Like, the part where there's, like, the 9 birds, the problem is I have to, like, ping one and then, like, run back. Also, they take double the amount of hits to kill. So it's like, I can't just, like, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. And I'm also, I was using a guide because I am aware of the... things to get the best ending. So it's like, I only had, like, the original weapons. I did not get the machine gun. Let's go to the weapons for a second. Like, the weapon...
Yeah, so I was going to mention just on the topic of going in guns blazing, like, you actually are a little bit more careful than you would expect just because of the weapon system and the progression system. I thought it was really creative how they did this. Basically, there is no, like, leveling up in a traditional sense with your character. Like, you could get more life. That's about it. And in the normal mode, I guess you couldn't do that in the expert mode. The way it works is you acquire different weapons, and the weapons themselves could level up with drops from the enemies. So there's these little pyramids that come out, and those count as XP. So hypothetically, you have a level 1 pellet shooter. Level 2, it starts shooting like more bullets at once, and then like level 3, it's like similar to a laser, not really. But if you get hit, you lose EXP on those weapons, and you have to gain it back as well as life. So you not only lose life when you get hit, but you also your weapon
your
gets
weapon energy
worse.
Or whatever.
So you actually are careful in a lot of sections, especially towards the end, where the save points are fewer and fewer between
the end
each
game
second.
is well known for being diabolically difficult.
It's really frustratingly difficult to the point where like I feel like it ruins a lot of the game. But I did definitely enjoy it. I just think that they could have had save points a little bit closer together. Like, I hate when the difficulty of a game is having to just do sections. Like even if the sections themselves are individually not hard, just like, if I mess up on this one thing, I guess I'm gonna have to like do the next 5 to 10 minutes again.
I could write pages of that. Like, you kill one boss, and then an enemy is immediately outside the door after you kill the boss, and you just spent like an hour trying to kill that boss, and he just like throws a pedal at you, and you die, and you have to kill the boss again.
That and how every single time you enter a door, and then exit the door, all the enemies respawn.
All the enemies respawn. Yep.
Yeah, I think it was the worst though in bosses, especially because you are guaranteed on most bosses. I think I did one shot one, but like you're just not gonna know how to kill them, and then you're gonna die, and then it's like, I guess the save point was really far away, or in one case, I think the save point was right next to the boss, but they had an unskippable cutscene. So every single time I died on that boss, I had to go through the cutscene. And I was just like,
kind of annoying.
I feel like that's just the game's age showing.
Well, yeah, it like I said, it's archaic. This was an indie game from 2004, made from one person. Like, I feel like so many games after this did, certain aspects of this better, and so on and so forth. And it just, like you said, it's a sign of its age. I loved the character design though. Like, I feel like some of the enemies were really cool. They're really diverse. It felt like I wasn't ever really fighting like the same enemies. Every zone had like different enemies. Like the villains I thought were kind of cute and like funny and stuff like that. The music I thought was fucking phenomenal though. Like that Labyrinth music, like that shit's fucking slaps.
So two things on this. I'll go into the actual theme first, and then I'll go into the music. But I thought the theme was fine. I thought like the areas were cool and stuff. But like I looked at the original art, and I think I like the original pixel art better. Like I feel like it had a more cohesive theme to it, especially because it was chiptune music with pixel art. I think that like the graphics in the remaster come a little like, I don't want to say like childish, but like it's like new style like faux chiptunes. I just thought it felt like a little less authentic.
The original stuff looks kind of dark at some points, I want to say, like even like spooky.
I still thought it looked good. I will say the music is better in the new version. I think I love chiptunes, but like this music just sounds better. The thing that like literally the first thing when I turned on this game, I was just like, oh my, it's the fucking Octagon song. Have you ever seen that Jack Black Octagon like YouTube music video?
I have, but I can't think of. You're gonna have to show me that after to see like where that song is.
It's Octagon.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
oh
oh shit, Jack Black, he's got an octagon. Everyone duck for cover. Jack Black has an octagon. It made me very happy. I was just like, I forgot, because I remember,
you know where it's from.
I remember like I was looking at the credits, I'm like, oh, Cave Story music, I guess, and I'm like, oh yeah, Cave Story music. Here we go. And I mean, the other songs are obviously great, but Octagon's always going to stand out to me.
That Labyrinth music is the best song in the game.
That Labyrinth made me laugh because like the first area is a jump quest, and I'm like, I've played MapleStory, okay,
dude,
bitch.
Like, we know what's up.
Yeah, like the jump quest was like infantile compared to what we've had to do in that mine in the middle of Victoria Island. I forget what it's called. Whatever. It's
the forest of something. Desolation or some shit. But I got, do you know like that robot boss towards the end or like middle of Labyrinth where it's like on the
in fact that was probably the boss I found the hardest. I struggled with it. I had to look at a video on how to kill it.
That's where I got to. I could not get past that. I spent like an hour on that today or before the podcast, and I'm just like, I need a break, man, because I was just like unbelievably frustrated and like so burnt out after the sand zone, man. Like that zone, like.
Yeah, I literally actually took a break at that boss and then came back afterwards. So I totally get that. But yeah, that sand area was definitely a bit of a jump in difficulty. I do think if they just paced it a little bit better, I think this game would be a little less of a slog in some cases. Like I literally gave up and didn't beat the game and just looked it up, which I guess I probably wouldn't be able to do in 2004 as easily. Maybe if they knew that people could do that, they would make it a little bit more forgiving. I guess there was an easy mode too, but
like I said, this is just it's classic old game. a lot of games were like this back in the day, like NES games and so on and so forth. And I think that was just kind of like feeding on that kind of mentality of like, hey, like it's meant to be difficult type thing. I just think we're so used to getting saves so soon that this game is just a little bit jarring for us.
Yeah.
Not to say it's a bad thing. It's gamers are coddled now. We're little bitches.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, honestly, I value my time a little bit more than when I was like 10.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Course. Yeah. So I love this game. It was fantastic from everything about the art design. I played on hard mode. The difficulty was very, very rewarding and a lot of fun. Made you think about the levels a lot different. I think this is an important game that everybody should play. I mean, I guess I have a little bit more background in it because I remember it from like old school internet and everybody being like into it. Maybe you were too young at the time, but
I literally remember like this game. Like I was definitely young when this game came out. I don't think I knew about it on. I think I first heard about it when it was going to DS because it went to DS and WiiWare.
Yeah, that was like 2010 or 2009.
I think it was like 2008, 2009, something like that. But yeah, I definitely know this game has significance, and I'm glad I played it. I'm not going to go as far as and say it's like a game that everyone should play, like you said. I think that I would say it's similar to Super Mario Kart. I'd never say to someone play Super Mario Kart because every single Mario Kart past it like has improved on Super Mario Kart. Like there's really no reason to go back. I think that this is a very good basic platformer, but there are some things that I dislike, and I think that playing a classic platformer besides this one, or going further and going into one of the more modern platformers like Super Meat Boy, you'd have a more satisfying experience.
Oh, absolutely. But I would say people that are into that kind of stuff, this would probably be a rewarding experience for them. Or like people that like enjoy Kaizo type games, I think could enjoy some of the difficulty in this. So
the thing that I would say though, and I was like thinking about this so much during my playthrough, is that there's another game I played. There's another game I played like maybe like 5 years ago or something. For some reason, I got it in like a Steam sale. It's called Super Panda Adventures, which is like it's almost exactly the same game. I'm like, I know that Super Panda Adventures came way later, but I'm like, oh, it's a story-oriented platformer where you talk to people and advance the plot by like doing all these platforming things. It's almost the exact same gameplay, but I think it's a little bit more polished and a little bit more approachable. So I would recommend, if you like Cave Story, play Super Panda Adventures. And I can't pick that for the podcast because I've played through it and I remember most of it. But I do recommend you play that game on your own time.
Real quickly, when you play hard mode, there's no missile launcher.
I didn't use the missile launcher really in Cave Story. I actually I mainly used the weapon? Machine gun.
I didn't. So if I didn't get the machine gun because you want to keep your original
you want to
weapon?
keep your pebble shooter or whatever so you could upgrade it later.
Yeah, so I guess I just made it arbitrarily harder than me. But I use that bubble weapon a lot though. Like that.
I used
so
that.
much.
I didn't use the bubble weapon. I used the machine gun and I used the sword weapon. Those were the only two.
Sword is sick, but as soon as you get to level 3, I think it sucks. The level 2 is sick.
The level 3, it just does more damage per second, so it's pretty cool.
I guess I spam it, so I disagree.
Well, yeah, the reason why I like the machine gun is because I didn't have to just spam that button. I just held it.
Yeah. I got like the fingers, so I think this is definitely a play out of 10. So I think people should play it.
I think
if you enjoy it.
I think you'll probably enjoy it if you play it out of 10, but don't like go out of the way to play it unless you're podcast
Fuck
co-host.
you. Go out of your way and play this. This is an important game. I think, quote, the main character should be in Smash.
What is the main character's name even? It's like Ghost.
His name's Quote.
Quote. There we go. Yeah, Quote
also,
for Smash.
Do you know that girl you find? You have to fight her and stuff like that. If you find a secret thing in the wall, you can go on this path and you find her panties and you unlock her story.
Jesus. Is that for real?
Yeah.
This is in my Nintendo game?
This game has so many secrets. Like, it's unreal how many secret areas, secret zones. Like, on like the real ending, there's like it's very reminiscent of the Nonary games. You know how you beat it and then you like beat it, and there's like another half of the game.
Yeah. I did legitimate look at how to do this. I'm like, who even are these characters? Like, I didn't even encounter these people. It's because I picked up a booster early or something like that. It's like
can't.
I don't know.
It's like you can't get the booster. Like you can't do like all this shit. You need to talk to people at like certain points.
You just got to make the game worse. It's whatever. Just do it. Just make the game less fun so you could have more less fun content.
It's like you said, it's very archaic in that sense. Like it's classic. So,
but if we're talking about must play games, what's up with this Super Mario 35 shit? Huh?
I got it that first night and I sat there playing it for like a good like 2 hours, like enjoying the shit out of it. For those that don't know, you
played a video game for 2 hours? That's crazy.
Yes. Shut the fuck up.
No, I played it for 1 hour. I'm saying it's a must play. But
for those that don't know, the Nintendo eShop on the Switch released a game called Super Mario 35, which is very I guess it has parallels to Tetris 99. You basically play Super Mario levels, and it's a battle royale essentially. Like it's pretty fun.
Yeah, we actually talked about this because it was part of the Mario 35 Mario 35th anniversary event. So we went through all the games that they were releasing, and this one was the second on the plate after the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, which I actually have played a little bit. I just played some SM64, and I was pretty satisfied with that. I'll get to Sunshine eventually when I have time for video games. I'm an adult. I only play video games that Dana makes me, or I make myself for the podcast. I guess, and for stream. I play a lot of video games just for some reason, not ones in my own free time, just casually.
Yeah, you don't ever play games casually. You like play games for podcast or
for business,
stream.
you know?
Yeah, business, dude.
Games for business. That's my new game company.
We should change the podcast to that.
Not a terrible name, honestly. But yeah, I was playing a bit of Super Mario 35 on stream, and I definitely really enjoyed it. As Dana said, it's a battle royale. Essentially, they sued Super Mario Royale, and they were like, how do we make this our own idea? So they took Tetris 99, which is a very successful concept. You basically play as Mario. You play as Mario. What the fuck am I saying? You play Super Mario Bros. 1 levels, and when you hit an enemy, it sends it to another person's screen. The timer goes down, and you need to keep beating levels in order to refresh the timer or get power-ups, etc. It eventually gets more high stakes. The timer goes down faster. More enemies and levels.
It's identical, like in the controls to Tetris 99, in the way that you can use like your right stick to send your enemies towards attackers or people who have like more coins or people who have less time, you know? Just kind of like Tetris 99.
So the thing I was surprised, I thought I would have, I do have a massive advantage because I'm a SMB1 speedrunner, but the actual like beating levels quickly aspect to this is a very, like, I wouldn't say very minor, but it's definitely not the main part of this. There's a lot of strategy. In fact, like it took me like about 45 minutes for me to get my first win because I just like didn't really understand the strategy of the game.
You just hit enemies. Like you just want to hit as many enemies, get as many coins as possible and stuff like that.
The meta is actually kind of figured out at this point. I guess it's going to be an ever evolving meta, but like there is a currently like standard way to win, which is I think it's basically get as many coins in the early game as possible, and then just start sending shit over. Do the one at your attackers, and then towards the end, that's when you start beating levels over and over again. I'm probably botching it, but like there's like actually like multiple write-ups on how to win in Mario 35. But
my biggest qualm overall with this game is it doesn't end itself. I feel like the last 3 people can last for like 20 minutes. Like,
yep, that's the exact. I was playing this on stream the other day, and I always give my thoughts as I'm playing something new, and I was just like, this game goes too long. I wish rounds were 5 minutes. They're like 90% of the game is 5 minutes, and then the last 10% is like another half. It's because
you guys are just like all so good, and that you don't have 33 other people flinging shit at you, so there's just like less going on, there's less to dodge, like you're just kind of like playing through it and living. Like,
yeah, I feel like they will tweak it, hopefully. I mean, the thing is, I'm really, really hopeful about this game. First of all, everyone seems to be enjoying it. The entire Mario community,
absolutely.
Like, you're not going to find people speedrunning anymore. It's just people playing Mario 35, which is, I'll hold down the fort. Because I don't have like 6 hours a day like I see some people playing this game to like get to the top of the leaderboard.
It just goes back to I feel like just Nintendo is just so out of touch with everything they do. Because for those who don't know, they're removing this game from the shop at some point.
Like, no, that's actually what I was going to get into. So like they say that they're getting rid of this game on March 31st, and that still is the case. But I'm actually much more hopeful now because they said they were going to get rid of the game Jump Rope King on October 1st.
Fuck is Jump Rope King?
It's a game they released. It's like a fitness game where you basically hold the Joy-Cons and like pretend it's a jump rope and you try to like
that's funny.
Yeah, it's free on the eShop, so you can actually download it if you want to try it. I'm not trying to imply anything.
I don't have Joy-Cons.
Oh yeah, shit. No, you can't play that shit. Just rip them off your.
just fling my DS fucking or Switch Lite, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, they said they were gonna get rid of it after September, and they're like, you know what? It's a digital game. We could keep it. So I think that's what they're gonna do in March 31st. They're gonna see that this game is popular. They're gonna see that it sells Nintendo Online.
Will they add like Super Mario Brothers 2 levels or like Lost Levels? I didn't say Lost Worlds. Or like Super Mario Bros 3 levels. Like what if like it was like mix and match everything? Like you go from like a Super Mario Brothers 1 level and then the next level you warp to is a Super Mario Brothers 3 level. Like I think that could be really cool.
I don't think they would mix and match, but I could definitely see them first of all. Well, I could see them mix and matching with 2J. I could definitely see that because it's the same game essentially. I mean, there's slightly different physics, but it doesn't matter. No one that plays Mario 35 cares about that. I'm going to be like, oh, this block isn't correctly. Like people are already complaining that the physics are a little bit more jank than SMB1, but they actually are relatively close to SMB1 physics. But unless you're a speedrunner, you're not going to be able to tell that. But I think that they might have a separate mode for Mario 3. I think Mario 3 is probably the smartest choice. Probably because the levels are short and generally skillful to go through. I will say they probably won't add any auto scrollers to this, and that SMB3 has a lot of auto scrollers.
Awful. Can I actually ask you? Maybe it's because I'm not the biggest Mario person. Is the momentum physics weird in this game? Like I feel
this is the original momentum physics in SMB1. People who go back to SMB1 and play SMB1 or 2J don't understand how different they were than modern Mario. You have a lot less control in SMB1 and 2J. 2J, for those who don't know, is Lost Levels. We call it 2J because it was the Japanese version of 2.
Yeah.
The original 2 games have significantly less control in air. Once you're going a place, you're kind of like a brick. You can't really move in the air.
Well, I felt like I kept slowing down when I didn't want to.
I recommend going because you have the Nintendo NES Online and stuff. Go into the originals and play them. It's going to be very similar to that. They were definitely more true than I thought this was going to be New Super Mario Bros. Physics, just like everything in Mario Maker is New Super Mario Bros. Physics. It doesn't matter which.
I guess that's more what I'm used to is like you don't really slow down, I feel like, when you're holding like the run button and stuff, but it's like there are times when it's like if you even like stop for like a second, like your momentum just completely stops, which is just something I'm not used to. But I mean, if that's original, then that's original,
I think it stays true to the original. I definitely think that the original physics are less casual friendly, but I hear a lot of people complain and say they suck. For a speedrunner, like you have complete control over Mario once you know what you're doing. The issue is that most people just don't know what they're doing. They're expecting SMW where Mario could like do an S in the air, and you just can't do that in this game.
Yeah. Now if they took Super, oh my god,
Super Mario World?
Yeah, Super Mario World and did 35 with that, I think that would be fucking sick.
I think that'd be a little bit too, like some of those levels are massive in scope. Not massive, but like there's a couple levels I'm thinking they're just a little too big for a game like that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm a hater.
But there's 92 levels in that game, right? So it's like they could cut.
Well, I guess there's 4 Switch Palaces too, so 96.
Yeah, so they could literally cut out like 40 levels and it would be fine.
Yeah, but then someone would complain. I mean, like if you're gonna complain, just complain about Blizzard and their whatever they're doing. What are they doing? Terrible transition. I tried.
No. So this is not something to complain about. This is literally the best possible scenario. So what Blizzard did is in an unprecedented move. They were going to release the new World of Warcraft expansion, Shadowlands, which I am eagerly awaiting for, on the 25th of this month. They have announced that they are not releasing it, and they are going to postpone it for an indefinite amount of time. It could be anywhere from 2 weeks to a couple months and stuff like that. for anyone that plays the game like religiously, like I do, like if you don't know, I play the game competitively. Like I'm the type of guy when it's relevant, I'm playing that game like 10 hours a day every single day. Like it's degenerate. There's a lot of problems with the game. There's a lot of problems with the previous expansion, Battle for Azeroth, and that is due to them releasing it too early. In the betas and the alphas, people were screaming at the top of their lungs, "This is not ready. This is a problem. This is a problem." And they spent the entirety of the last 2 years just trying to fix it, and it's finally in an okay state. So this is kind of like the MO for Blizzard at this point, to just rush stuff out. They're trying to appease the shareholders and stuff like that. So for them to say, hey, we're going to hold this back to make it better, from someone who personally thought Blizzard was going downhill, I'm sure you see it online everywhere. Blizzard isn't the same. As a Blizzard fanboy, I could not be happier that they are postponing this to make it a better game. A lot of people are really upset because they took their time off for the release. But I mean, like, yeah, that sucks. But I mean, if it's going to be a better game and you're not going to be pissed off for the next couple of years, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, insert what was it, Miyamoto quote, or was that Iwata quote? A delayed game is eventually good, or whatever it is.
Yeah, but a rush game is like forever bad.
I personally think that the reason why they're delaying it is for much more cynical reasons. Like, first of all, there's the whole fact that like they're hemorrhaging staff. And they're also in lockdown for Corona, so like they might not have efficient development cycles. But I personally think that they're just trying to get more information for their BlizzCon February event. Even though
I'm going to interrupt you with that and basically just say, like, I like, with there's like tens of thousands of people playing the betas, giving back feedback and stuff like that, saying like, this is not ready, this is not balanced, like the classes are just like not playable like off the get-go. Like it is fundamentally not ready. Like it's not like a business decision. This game is straight up not ready. And they released a not ready game with Battle for Azeroth 2 years ago. So.
But did you get that sick Battle for Azeroth Hearthstone card back?
Probably. I don't know. I haven't played Hearthstone forever.
It's pretty sick, dude.
Don't people just play Battlegrounds now? Like no one even.
Yeah, I only play Battlegrounds. I'm still excited to eventually go to a BlizzCon, but like I play a small subset of one Blizzard game at this point. I'm like barely a Blizzard fan.
I have played every Blizzard game pretty much to ever exist, like Diablo 1, Diablo 2, StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2, Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3.
Call of Duty 5 Infinite.
Kill yourself.
What? It's on
in a video game.
It's on the Blizzard launcher. It's my favorite Blizzard game, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
To just go further into this, everyone thought this was a lot of EA's influence, or excuse me, Activision. Sorry, Activision's influence has been ruining the game for a very, very long time. To see something that is maybe not affected by Activision influence, and maybe for the good of the game, it's making the long-term fans of the game very, very hopeful, and I'm very, very happy they decided to do this. Also, raid release was during Thanksgiving week, so it's like we would have had to play during Thanksgiving. That's just fucking garbage. So.
Fuck your family.
Yeah, it was,
your WoW
family. Awful timing. So what people are estimating is going to come out in December, and then the raid release is going to be January. So
were they trying to like do like a Black Friday sort of thing with the raid release? Like, are there any Black Friday deals for WoW? I don't even think so, right?
No. So typically what happens is the game is out for a month, and then the raid releases. It just, because of the timing, that's just how the timing happened.
Why don't you just raid with your family? Get your mom in the guild.
No.
Well, I'll get my mom in my WoW guild.
I'm not even gonna make a joke. Just no, that sounds fucking terrible. Like if I'm just like, all right, mom, don't DPS or interrupt that ad. CC that over there. She's like, I'm pressing 2. I'm like, fuck, no, that sounds awful.
I mean,
as soon as she stands in the fucking fire, I'm just gonna fucking lose it.
Just like yell at your mom that she's not doing her tasks in the raid. It's just like,
yeah,
it's that gets awkward later during dinner.
Dude, like
I'm sorry I got heated. But we were about to die.
That's like genuinely a problem in the game. Like people, like husband and wife who play together, like one of the spouses will be like the GM, and then they just bring around like their husband or wife that fucking blows the game, but they can't say anything because it's their wife or husband.
I thought you were gonna say like, oh, it ruins relationships. It's like, oh yeah, like I heard like a husband and wife, and like the wife just berated the husband for like 45 minutes because they did the wrong.
Well, I mean, it strains it because like everyone in the raid is like, your husband's fucking trash at the game, but like you can't say that. Like that's gonna ruin. You know what I mean? Like
that's why when I'm in an MMO, I only allow like I have a very long list, like a 4 to 5 page Google form application, and like the first couple questions are on relationship status, and if they are anything but single basement dweller loser, they're not allowed in my guild because I don't want personal relationships.
Listen, just because we have
this.
an application,
I want robots, an army.
Listen, I am actually the recruiter for our guild. Like, I have to like ask questions and like shit like this, and like ask about like that. There's like marital status and stuff like that. How it's gonna affect like I have to ask these questions.
Do you actually ask marital status on a?
No.
Okay,
no,
I was like scared for a second. I'm like, oh god. What's like the weirdest question that someone would ask? Or okay, I don't want to get too personal, but like what's the weirdest question you ask for your guild? Guild recruitment.
I'm like extremely professional with it. Like it I guess it would be very reminiscent of like a job interview at like a.
Have you ever asked someone what their greatest weakness is?
No, I'm not.
Thank
that's the
God.
worst question ever.
Yeah.
and like if you ever get a job interview and they ask you that question, just don't work there.
I mean, I could. They asked me that at my current job.
What is your greatest weakness? Fuck it, I got a fat ass dick. Like fuck you. Like
my greatest weakness is that I perpetually am late and don't put in as much effort as I could.
Why do you want to work for this company? It's because I want money.
I mean,
like is there really anything I want? You have a paycheck with higher numbers than my previous paycheck, and it will advance my career.
I was just laughing because I just wanted to like end. I wasn't gonna end the podcast, but I was just gonna say I mean and just be blank until like you like just lead you on, and I just couldn't do it. I just like immediately broke. I'm just like I cracked myself up so much. I'm such a funny
I'm like
man.
Nerding out on like really bullshit Warcraft shit that no one cares about. So
well, no, I'm actually curious about like the like. So do people send like resumes, and do they have like I have 45 confirmed kills on Zakum?
So I can actually show you directly. Actually, it's actually like a whole thing.
Has anyone ever made a specific WoW resume? That's the question. Like that you've seen.
Oh my god, absolutely, yeah. Like you had to back in the day. Like I had like 4-page things you would send into people and stuff like that. People like I physically interview people, like, and I deny people.
You
like
physically interview people. You go to their house.
Well, like we get into Discord and stuff, and I interview them. I ask them questions because, like, here's the thing: is a lot of guilds in the higher end have application processes where you go to their website, you apply, you attach your I guess WoW resume to it and stuff like that. But I kind of forhold that, and I'd rather get someone into Discord directly and ask them these questions directly because I feel like you can lie and embellish any way you want on a. Like on a
written resume, but when you get someone in the room and you ask them like, oh, hypothetically, N'Zoth is gonna do an ult, and the N'Zoth
I hate
tentacles
you so much.
The N'Zoth tentacles are gonna Gruul's coming out.
No.
Oh my god! So then this is when the Lich King goes in and says, Azeroth, you're mine, and then the Shadow of Outlands, like, you know what's happening, right? So like basically, like you're in a situation where the what happens here? So you're in a situation where the Grand Lords of the Ogres are with Deathwing, and Gul'dan, he's just there talking about the old gods,
I went and got a donut, and you're still going.
And we're in the Wormrest Temple, like with the other old gods, and N'Zoth comes out with the tentacles, and he basically says, "Hey, look at that dragon blight. If we don't eat that dragon blight, the wrath of the Lich King is gonna go to Pandaria." And the issue with that is that when the Lich King doesn't have Alexstrasza under his belt, that's when the Scarlet Onslaught starts to expire.
So at some point, I'm assuming we're ending right there.
No, we're not even close to done here. The thing is, I legitimately want to know what's the deal with the Inquisitor Ward. Is the Stable Master Mercer, is he going to
I can't. I literally can't with you.
Is he going to go to Kirando's Galeheart and say, "Hey, look, if Magni and Gul'dan are going to be part of our party, what's going to happen in Winterspring? Is Azeroth going to be okay when Gruul comes?" Yasharaj died, right? They took his heart.
Are you just reading the WoW wiki? Where are you getting this information from? I know you play Hearthstone.
Dark
so
Whisper
you have,
Gorge.
It's a battleground.
Yeah, Hearthstone Battleground. Hey guys, so if you liked the episode, make sure to follow Virtual Homework Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and rate it 5 stars if you can.
Or if you hate it, do 5 stars anyway, or I will find you.
If you rate it less than 5 stars, Dan will be bound and gagged on a train track.
Wait, what?